high school for week number 5 of the prep football season here. It's a North Star District matchup for you tonight. St. Louis Park taking on the host Pirates. I am Jay Wilcox, and it's been a struggle so far for Park Center this year. Off to an 0-4 start. They had a lot of veteran players last year that graduated, and so this year, not only new faces, but also a younger overall group, and some of the players who did return are in different and bigger roles. They've been competitive in most of their games, just had some moments here and there where things didn't go right. They've had some mistakes and things have gotten away from them, but they're still feeling pretty confident. They feel like they have a decent shot in this game tonight against St. Louis Park. Meanwhile, the Orioles, they started out 2-0 and then have lost their last 2, and they had kind of a tough luck one last week. We had the Hopkins game, which was ended by weather with 5 minutes to play. Well, St. Louis Park had a lead on Cretin-Durham Hall, but that game was halted. They had to come back Saturday, and it was a completely different game, according to Jason Foster, Park's head coach. He said they came out and played a lot better than we did on Saturday after we had been ahead 17-7 on Friday night. So not a usual situation, not a fun one, and it didn't turn out in their favor. But overall, they've got some talent on this St. Louis Park team. They're in a different, or they're not in a different section, but the section's been realigned this year, and their path to state, they've got a real shot in Section 5 of 5A. The Orioles last year getting knocked out by Armstrong in the semifinals, but now the Falcons are in Section 6, along with Cooper and along with this Park Center team. So Park definitely eyeing the possibility, at least, of getting to the state playoffs. These teams have not played for about 8 years, although the coaches are good friends. They actually played semi-pro football together, so they are looking forward to the matchup. And again, both teams feel like they have a shot in this one. They've got competitive programs and have done fairly well in these more recent seasons. And for Park Center, they would love nothing more than to get their first W here on the board in late September. Stay tuned. We've got St. Louis Park and Park Center prep football from the North Star District, and it's on the way next year on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
We are about set for football here. We've had some technical difficulties here getting into the start of this one, and the game itself is not getting started. I'm not sure exactly what the holdup is here, but the football is on the tee. Park Center won the toss but deferred, so they will end up kicking off. St. Louis Park will get the football first. Jaden Post, number 8, number 14, Shepard Cox waiting back deep for the Orioles. Brandon Perez getting set to kick off here for Park Center. Didn't touch on it in the pregame, but Park will have a backup quarterback playing tonight as the regular starter, Everett Arnold, hurt his knee. And so Carter Kuhn, the sophomore, will get a chance to be under center this evening for the Orioles. I watched him in warm-ups. He throws a good ball. He did not look like an overmatched backup by any means. He got to play a little bit last week. He's a sophomore receiver too, but he'll be taking snaps tonight. Looks like we are ready to go, and Perez will drive a liner. Post bobbles it at about the 15 and then tripped out as he crossed the 25. A little bit banged up, I think, was the tackler that time, Griffin Ford. So St. Louis Park, Jason Foster and crew will start it at their 26-yard line. As we mentioned, Carter Kuhn will be their quarterback, number 7. He's just 2 out of 6 throwing the ball so far this year. One guy to really watch for them, Mason Helfman, number 2. He's their leading rusher, their leading receiver, their leading tackler, and he's going to be playing for St. Thomas in college. 5'9", 205-pounder. We might see a pretty steady dose of him. First down's going to be a quarterback run. Kuhn to the outside, but he's hemmed in. Nicely defended by the Pirates. Ford making the stop as he'll lose one.
From their own 25.
Interesting, both coaches mentioned we just need more consistency when asked, how that first half of the season was. Here's Helfman taking the handoff here. And a little bit of a push. He'll pick up about 4, but again, pretty well defended by the Pirates. Chance to see Helfman in the playoffs last year against Armstrong. He's a football player, no question about it. Came in averaging about 5.7 per carry at 493 yards rushing. So a 3rd and 7 here for St. Louis Park, opening possession of the night. Kuhn dropping to throw, rush coming, he throws and it's intercepted. Quick pickoff here by Bryce Bullard, and Bullard down inside the 10-yard line as Park Center able to come up with a huge play defensively. Not the kind of start that the young quarterback wanted here, as ended up throwing that one behind his target, and Bullard was there and ready and almost returned that one all the way. He'll be at about the 8-yard line of St. Louis Park. Another look, throw a little behind, and also obviously too high there for Ryan Oleski as well. And look at this good burst upfield. There was really only one guy that had a chance to stop Bullard from getting to the end zone. And so now Park in a bad spot. Boy, deferring the kick looks like a great idea for Jordan Salas and company. Desmond Slocum, the junior, is the quarterback for the Pirates, and they're presented with excellent field position here. Nico Calvert in the backfield with him. First down's going to be a handoff to Calvert. Knocked back. He bounced out of there a little bit, but let's see where they'll spot him. Forward progress. Yeah, right about back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. So second down and goal coming for PC. Hadn't been hurt by mistakes offensively. They moved the ball well at times, but then you get penalties or turnovers, things like that. They're not alone in that. I've talked to some other coaches this year that feel the same way. Second down, here's a handoff left side, and that'll be a touchdown. Jerome Gregory in for the score as the Orioles not expecting that run left. And it's a quick touchdown for Park Center as they capitalize on the turnover. Gregory gets it in with 9:30 to go here in quarter number 1. Couldn't ask for a much better start here on homecoming for Park Center. They get the interception and then quickly punch it in.
Gregory on the scamper for touchdown.
Gonna go for 2 here. Slocum rolling to his right, throws, and it is complete for the 2-point conversion. So the conversion good, that'll make it 8-0 Park Center. There's a look at that touchdown to Calvert. Boy, the Orioles, just nobody really there. And then the rollout able to connect. So just 2.5 minutes in, Park Center on the board first as they go up 8-0. Boy, and it's the type of thing too, a team that's coming in at 0-4, you really need to get something positive to happen early, and they, as I said, couldn't really ask for much more of a great start. He stopped him before the kickoff, not sure. I think maybe he hadn't given the signal to go ahead, and Park Center started to kick. Here's Jason Foster, the Orioles head coach. 5th year as head coach, 18 years in the program. Post fielding it on the 13 and weaving his way upfield, gets wrapped up. And getting tackled, they eventually finally get him to the ground. He'll be stopped at about the 33-yard line. So St. Louis Park, the first drive didn't go so well. And the quick turnover. And they will get it back with a second opportunity here. Elfman, the single back behind Kuhn. 3 receivers out to the left and a single receiver here on the near side, the right side. Elfman takes the handoff and stacked up. Adam Burkeilen holding his ground pretty well there and got some help as they closed in. And no gain on that one. Second down and 10 for the Orioles. See if they'll be a little more conservative after throwing that interception on the first drive with the young quarterback in there. Well, rolling to his right. Kuhn throwing on the run and bobbled but caught. Going to be just shy of a first down as he's able to hook up there with Grayson Savanich. Another look as he got hit just as he got rid of that one. Adam Mason there defensively, and it was pretty decent defense, but they still get the connection. So 3rd down and a yard here for St. Louis Park. Elfman takes the handoff, and he will pick up that first down. Dragging a tackler with him a little bit there as David Bloss wrapped him up, but couldn't stop the powerfully built Elfman. So first down for the Orioles as they're out to their 47-yard line here. Trailing it early though, 8-0. Park Center getting a quick interception and then punched it in. Helfman takes the handoff here. Nice cut. Helfman avoiding a tackle, still on his feet down the sideline and forced out of bounds at about the 35. Actually inside that at the 33. So a 20-yard pickup for Helfman, showing off some of his abilities there to break tackles and made a nice cut as well. You're not going to get him down with arm tackles very often, and able to kind of run through one there. So Orioles football at the 33. Post coming in motion, back to Helfman. And brought down as he crossed inside the 30. He'll get 3, maybe 4 on that play. Jordan Salas, the Park Center coach, saying he looked like on film St. Louis Park does have a pretty good O-line. And showing it there. And they're a team that, they like to really spread out a lot of 4 wide stuff, but then still run the ball. And I kind of like that. Some teams would really like to pack things tight and maybe have double tight ends and overpower you, but I feel like spreading out the defense never a bad idea. Kuhn looking to throw, now in some trouble, gets rid of it, and it'll be short of his receiver as the pressure was put on there by Verkuylen. His initial read wasn't there, and he rolled right to keep the play alive, but then pressure got there. The receiver was definitely open, but he was being hit as he threw, and tough to get enough on it at that point. Looks like there could have been a flag, but they picked it up. Third and 6 here for St. Louis Park. Now a timeout taken by the Orioles. They seem to be a little unsure coming up to the line of scrimmage, and always better to be safe than sorry there. They're going to talk it over. In a spot on the field where I think we're probably in 4-down territory here. Unless things went really bad on this one, I would guess they'd be looking to go for it on the 4th down play if it comes to that. Pirates defense has given up some points this year for sure, and actually special teams too last week.
First one there, Bryce Bowen. Come on, man. Check it. Touchdown!
Oh my gosh.
Trap that ball or not, and now I think the officials are discussing. And they are going to stick with catch, perhaps. No, we got pass interference against St. Louis Park, so it's declined, and the completion is good. So they would have gotten a gainer anyway, but Wise making a tremendous catch, and I think they were also just trying to, make sure that did anybody see something different, and then they couldn't say yes. So, Slocum juggles the snap. Rolling right, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down. Probably would have been a good idea to get rid of that ball if he could. After dropping it, things broke down in a hurry. Not just catch by Wise, he was interfered with also. Yeah, grabbed that there. Oh, so hard to tell. Unfortunately, a loss of 7 on the next play, though. So 2nd and 17 now for Park Center. Slocum rolling to his left. Pressure coming. Got rid of it. It's complete, but not much room at all there. The whistle has sounded as they have stopped Calvert already. Forward progress will get him to the 40, so only a gain of 2. Well defended there. Boy, on 2nd and long, you don't mind that at all if you're St. Louis Park. Just quick rally to the ball. So 3rd and 15 coming up now for Park Center. A little over 3.5 to play in the first. Bear with us, we're having some technical difficulties here this evening, and we're hoping that you're able to see most of the game anyway, and just kind of keep plugging along with it. Oh, Slocum drops it again.
Montana takes it. This third down.
What do you think of the year 2003? That was when I was born, dude. Oh yeah. Were you really? What toys were big back then? Did you text?
stop the turnover down. Pirates ball. Come on, wait.
Helfman making a great open field stop there on Calvert. We said he's their leading tackler too, and Coach Foster saying he's projecting as a linebacker at St. Thomas. Again, technical difficulties plaguing us here tonight, and it's kind of where we're at these days, but the Pirates still leading it by a score of 8-0. Got an interception on the first possession of the game and returned it to the 8 and then scored shortly after. 3rd down and 8 coming up here for Park Center as the first quarter about to wind down. Slocum in trouble throwing, and it's short and incomplete. As the horn sounds, that will be the last play of the first quarter, and it is a good one for the home team. Park Center winless coming in, but they lead it after 1 by a score of 8-0. The second quarter coming up on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome back. We begin the second quarter. Park Center facing a 4th down and 8. They're at the 39 of St. Louis Park, so not looking like they're intending to punt here. Gonna go for it as the Orioles did a moment ago. They had a lot shorter distance to go, but their field position was much worse. Slocum taking the snap, rolls to the right, throwing over the middle, and it's caught. Another great grab by Wise, as he will be down to the 18-yard line. Second tremendous catch he's already had tonight. As you see the rollout rush starting to come, and he throws, and look at Wise doing a good job of securing that ball so that it didn't pop out when his body hit the ground. First one, I wasn't super sure that he caught. That one he definitely did. Bouncing it outside here is Calvert. Ball comes loose, and looks like the Orioles might have it here. They sure think so, and yes, they do. Recovery made by Imad Salam. And so the Pirates' promising drive will end via the turnover there. Calvert had it punched out, and the Orioles get a much-needed stop at their 15. He cuts it, and right there, ripping it out, was Finn Bruberg. And then good job to pounce on that one by Salam. So St. Louis Park football at their 15. Carter Kuhn, the sophomore, he bobbles the snap, but does get the handoff away, and look out, here comes Helfman up the middle. Pirates trying to rip at the ball, but he will advance that one all the way out to the 43 or 44 yard line. Got another Park injury, unfortunately, here. See the snap juggled, but didn't seem to bother them. They got good blocks, and Helfman just turned on the Jets. I mean, it wasn't a play where you thought he was going to go all the way because there were defenders there, but excellent run to start the drive here. And it is Helfman who's shaken up. Not exactly what Orioles fans wanted to see. So a 29-yard run, but then he's going to hobble to the sideline. They already lost one of their linemen, O'Day, to injury a bit ago, and they're without their normal starting quarterback tonight as well, as Everett Arnold's on the bench. So Ted McCarron will be the back now next to Kuhn. Fake it to him. Kuhn throwing off his back foot, and this one is picked off, I think, if he's inbounds. Yes. Asen coming up with the interception. Did a good job of making sure he was in bounds. It wasn't a terribly difficult catch. See as Kuhn under some pressure throws behind, and they were also, I don't think those routes were designed to be that close together, and it wasn't really even the defender defending the receiver that he was throwing to, I don't think, who made that interception. Well, there's a look at Helfman, and then number 6 without the helmet and pads is their normal starting quarterback, Arnold, out injured. So fortunately injuries biting St. Louis Park a little bit. Second interception of the night for Park Center. Adam Asen, good baseball player, and he picks that one off. So Pirates get it at the 47 here of the Orioles. And Wise is in there now at quarterback. They got a package to put in for him. He's going to roll right and throws, and it's complete. I don't know for sure if that's who he was throwing to, but the second receiver was a little behind, and Klee able to make the catch. Another look. I thought he was throwing it to the guy a little shorter there. Yeah, it was actually tipped. And the catch made. Well, it goes down as a completion there, and a nice completion as well. So from the 34 of St. Louis Park, Wise little pop pass, and here's Klee again, cutting it up hard, and he is brought down at about the 25, about a yard short of the first down. That will go as a pass completion. And the reason for that, too, is if for some reason this receiver drops the ball, it's just an incomplete forward pass rather than a fumble. That's why you do that rather than just hand it to him. So Park Center showing some versatility here. Second down and a yard for the Pirates. They lead it 8-0 early in the second quarter. Timeout taken here. Jordan Salas, you could hear him from up here. They were getting late in the play clock, and not everyone was on the same page there, so get that timeout call with 9:55 to go in the second, and Park Center leading it. Boy, it's been an eventful game. I mean, it started right from the beginning with that interception that the Pirates brought back to within the inside the 10-yard line of St. Louis Park, and it quickly led to a touchdown. And then kind of traded turnovers and big plays back and forth a little bit since then. Some injury issues definitely developing, maybe more so for St. Louis Park. Helfman is back on the field defensively, though, for the Orioles, by the way. Don't think I'd be hurting anybody's feelings by saying he's far and away their best overall player. So 2nd and a yard here. Wise getting this sequence of downs at quarterback after making some great catches as a receiver earlier. Deep drop, he throws, and one tackle broken, but just too many bodies to get away from there for Asen. That might have been one in hindsight where you possibly want to throw that one away. They'll lose about 6 on the play. I mean, you give your guy a chance, but realistically, it wasn't much of a chance. There were too many defenders around. He was able to break a tackle briefly, but just too many white jerseys there, and Asen no real opportunity to get away. So 3rd down and 6 coming up as they're pushed back to the 30. For receiver set again, both teams using that look fairly often with a single back next to the quarterback, and we're going to have a flag down. This is going to be a delay of game against Park Center. Other than that big 15-yarder against the Orioles, we really haven't had penalties be too much of a factor in tonight's game, knock on wood. Let's hope it stays that way. I think that's something universal, that nobody really enjoys watching a game where there's a lot of penalties. So back to 3rd and 11 now for Park Center. Restart the play clock, and somebody, this might have been an equipment thing. Somebody, I think, told that they needed to come out, so they had to make that late substitution. Key 3rd down play coming up. A promising drive for Park Center, but we'll see if they can continue it, and then we're going to have a false start against the Pirates. So moving back 5 more. It wasn't too long ago it was 2nd and 1, and now it's going to be 3rd and 16. Jason Foster, fair to say, probably not seeing what he would like to all in all tonight so far. His team off to a slow start, trailing at 8-0. Wise is a great scrambler, too. Not that that's necessarily the way they're going to go, but he can do it if needed. And chased out, rolling right. He's going to fling it deep downfield, and looks like the catch is made by Klee at the 20, and that'll be enough for the 1st down. Great throw, great catch. You see, able to just elude the rush, but gets a lot on this ball on the run, and then a great catch. It's actually not bad coverage at all. But Klee coming back to meet it. Did a good job of protecting it with his body, so they will convert on 3rd and 16. That's dynamite for Park Center. They've got it now 1st and 10 at the St. Louis Park 20. And we're going to have a timeout granted to Park Center. So it's been a real mixture. Some really big plays for Park Center, and then some mistakes have hurt them as well. But all in all, I think probably one of their better performances of this 2025 season so far. Still got a long way to go. We're not quite to the halfway point of the second quarter, but Pirates looking for their first win, maintaining an 8-0 lead after converting on that early turnover. And I tell you, they've had some excitement. Wise made a couple of great catches, and then he had just a tremendous throw, and Klee with a great catch to convert that 3rd and long. Problem is, you got to make sure that on these drives that you're not taking penalties and making big mistakes that move you back. Park defense trying to rise up and get a stop here. Juggled a little bit. Wise trying to break it out. We have a flag down on the play. A helmet has come off. Here's Wise cutting his way back. Ooh, and he takes a hard hit at the 5-yard line. It'll be interesting to see what this penalty is. A Pirates helmet came off. This may be against the defensive lineman. That helmet didn't come off by itself, and I'm thinking there's a possibility this will be against the Orioles. It is a face mask against St. Louis Park. It's going to be 1st and goal. Let's see if we can see 52 right there, and his helmet knocked off. And going to be half the distance after the run. So, after all is said and done, going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line of St. Louis Park. And looking at that replay, I'm not so sure that he grabbed the face mask, but he knocked the helmet off with a forearm, so it probably could have been a penalty either way. Wise handing it off, reaching late. Let's see. Yes, it's going to be a touchdown. It's the handoff there going to Freddie Johnson, and he's able to reach it over the goal line for the score. It's hard to tell if he was on the way down for sure, but he reached it out just early enough before his knees hit, and Park Center will increase the lead. Pirates will go for 2 again. They were successful the first time. Wise has run this whole sequence at quarterback for Park Center. He's going to throw the fade, looking for Klee. Good effort, but he couldn't quite bring that one in. And so the pass incomplete will stay at 14-0 in favor of Park Center, but they get a good drive and able to finish it off. Here's another look at this handoff, and Johnson reaching. I wouldn't have been terribly surprised if they had spotted him down, inside the 1 there, but just reached that ball over the goal line in time. So Park Center coming up big. Capitalizing on the turnover again. So Pirates lead at 14-0, 7:11 to play here in quarter number 2. Thanks for being with us for high school football on CCX. And again, apologize, we've had some technical difficulties. I think been on and off the air a couple times in this first half. Thanks for bearing with us. And we'll do our best to bring you the game as best as possible down the stretch here. Perez will kick off for Park Center. kick a line drive. This one might get to the end zone, and it will. So a touchback. Orioles are up aggressively. They don't play especially deep. Wanted to make sure they catch the ball in the air, but that time he was able to drive it between the return men. And so St. Louis Park will get it at their 20. Again, like I said with Park Center, there have definitely been some good things for the Orioles, but the 2 interceptions has been a glaring mistake, or a couple of mistakes, I should say, to cost them. And Carter Kuhn, the sophomore, getting the start because of injury to their regular starter, Everett Arnold. Go under center now, and it is Helfman who is the deep back. He's got his ankle wrapped up now. Helfman's going to throw. Deep downfield, but incomplete. Pretty well defended by Joe Jacobs. They were not fooled by that. So he tried to go to Jaden Post. And so Helfman throws incomplete. That's something he has done earlier this year as well. I wasn't exaggerating to say that Mason can do a little bit of everything. That was actually a good, strong throw right on the hash mark, but the defensive back was in good position to not allow receiver, not holding him up, but just not able to get to that football. 2nd down and 10. And go with the handoff to Helfman, breaks through the first wave, breaks another tackle, and he will be out to the 39-yard line and pick up the first down with ease, a gain of 19. Helfman, we mentioned, went out with what appears to be a possible ankle injury, but somehow seeing him as a player, I'm not terribly surprised that he said, "Put me back in, coach," and looked pretty good on that run. Kuhn this time will keep it, and nowhere to go as Blass wrapped him up and then got some help as well from Calvert. Another look, and nowhere to go there. So it'll be a loss of 2 on the run play for Kuhn. Blass has shown up tonight. He's called his number quite a few times. 2nd down and long here for the Orioles. Go to Helfman. And good push, but he stopped at about the 44. Oh, we're going to get a flag at the end of the play here. And I think it's going to be against St. Louis Park. No, I shouldn't say. There was some definite jawing going on as a couple players broke apart at the end. See which one they'll get it on. It's hard to tell if the Park Center guy was celebrating the call or dismayed at the call, so he might think it's on him. Going to be more than likely another unsportsmanlike. I think it was definitely after the play. Any day now, you might want to make a call here. My goodness. Personal foul. It does go against St. Louis Park. That was my initial thought, and then, like I mentioned, it was hard to tell for sure if Park Center was happy about it or You'll see the tackle is made, and it's not actually really right on the tackle. It says they continue right there, and then we get a little shove, and yeah, I think it was actually on Oleski. I know it's easier said than done, but boy, you just got to walk away on stuff like that. Those kind of penalties really hurt. So they'll push him back to the 29-yard line. And I think it's been a good 5 minutes between plays here. Let's go, officials. Sharpen up. Got to get to the 50, so third and about 21. Kuhn pressured and able to get away for now. Throwing on the run, and it's short. The receiver was well covered and really nowhere to go with that one, so dumps it off, but it'll be a 4th and long and presumably punting situation here for the Orioles. Boy, they've been 2 steps forward and 1 back. I mean, they had that nice run by Helfman to get him out, not quite to midfield, but out to the 40, and then that huge penalty again. Those are the kind that really hurt. Barry is the punter. Wise and Klee waiting back deep. Ooh, good rush on. His kick will go out of bounds on the Park Center sideline around the 45. Yep, that is where they'll spot it. So only about a 26-yard punt, although he did well to get it out of there. The rush was definitely coming. So Park Center, another defensive stop, and again, Orioles hurting themselves with a big penalty. So Park Center football at the 45-yard line. Leading at 14-0. A little over 5 minutes to go here in this second quarter. And it is Slocum back at quarterback. That was part of the plan, that they would get a series or two for Wise at quarterback. Slocum, deep throw downfield, and just tipped away at the last second. It was a good adjustment by both players actually there, as the defensive back, Josh Rickard, able to break that one up looking for Gregory. It was a little bit underthrown, but it was, he adjusted well and was going to catch this, I think, and then Rickard just got his hand in there. And I think a good no call in terms of interference too. They're both just kind of going for the ball. It's underthrown, and I think that was a good play on for sure. Probably a ball that you want to, get rid of a little bit sooner, and that led to it being underthrown. 2nd and 10, and you go with the toss out to Calvert. Gets a block on the edge, but then well defended as he's thrown down there by Broberg. That one initially looked like it might go for a bit, but it ends up being just about a 3-yard gain. So we'll have a 3rd down and 7 coming up for Park Center at their 48. Park Center's going to have to use a timeout. They were again in danger of the play clock running out. A flag did come down, but I think the timeout was granted prior. Look at Jordan Salas. He's still upbeat, but he's, acknowledged it's been a more frustrating year. He said that we had a lot more experience last year, guys who'd played, for us for 2-3 years in most positions, and just not nearly as much of that this year. But pretty good start to this one, leading it 14-0. I had a chance to see Park Center in their road game against Armstrong. I mean, it ended up being a fairly lopsided loss, but they played well early and led after a quarter, and it was still, really competitive game at halftime, but then just Armstrong pulled away. Third down and 7 coming up here for the Pirates. Slocum looking deep down that left sideline into double coverage, and Wise, did he come up with it? No, he's out of bounds. He made the catch, but they rule that he is out. I'm sorry, not Wise on that one. That one is Jacobs. Boy, he stuck with it. It was good coverage. A little bit of hand fighting there, and ooh, boy, he's awful close. That first foot, I thought it might have been in. It's very hard to tell, though. It could have been on the line as well. Great effort for sure. So it'll be a 4th and 7 now for Park Center, and again, just shy of midfield. No hesitation, it looks like, to go for it here. They are indeed going to go for it. Slocum, good protection. He's going to throw it long again, and what a great adjustment, and the catch is made. Jacobs this time will get it. There is a flag down. This might be interference. Yeah, I think this play is going to count. I think it's probably a defensive pass interference. Oh no, it's another unsportsmanlike, this time against Park Center. However, it will be a first down. The play counts because it's a post-play foul. Another look. Good adjustment, and he definitely came down with it. And then I'm guessing it had to be a little too much celebration at the end, or talking. No, he spun the ball. That might be enough to draw it, I guess. Handoff here going to Gregory, and he's stopped right away. No gainer on that one, so a 2nd down and 10 coming up here for PC. Boy, a score here before halftime. I don't get ahead of myself, but that would be huge. Already up 2 touchdowns. Little shovel to Klee, and he does a great job breaking through 2 guys. And then ridden down inside the 15 at about the 14. They'll have a first down. Gain of 14. It looked like they had a shot to get him right away there, but just outran it. And he's a little shaken up coming to the sideline. So Pirates on the move here at the 14 of St. Louis Park. PC up 14-0 and looking for more. Slocum tossing it out. Gregory makes a nice move, and then guess who? Helfman able to bring him down, but it was still a gain of about 4. Made a really nice move on the first guy, but then Helfman, when he gets a hold of you, generally is able to bring the guy down. Football inside the 10. They'll say 2nd and 5, so a gain of 5 on that last one. Slocum takes the ball back, now throwing into the end zone, and it is caught. Wise for the touchdown. Great grab. And Park Center will grow the lead here. Able to finish off the drive in style here with a little more than a minute and a half to go in this second quarter. Park Center now leading it 20-0. Wise making an excellent catch. Slocum wasn't afraid to put something on that one and snuck it in there. So again, they go for 2. They made the first, missed the second. Slocum will throw the fade here and incomplete, trying to go back to Wise. And the same thing they tried the last time, although it was Wise who was throwing the ball in that instance. They went out to the other side with the fade. Another look at this. Roll out and he throws into traffic there. Again, where 2 receivers, probably not designed for them to be that close together because you bring that other defender in, but good job adjusting to that ball by Wise. You can see why they like him a little bit at every spot. He is a heck of a player. 20-0 Park Center. I don't know that anybody necessarily would have seen this coming into the night, but they are looking solid in this first half. Again, a lot of football to go here, but they are playing well. Here's where you want to, hold Park in check here at the end too, just to make sure that they use up the rest of the clock and don't get a chance to get any momentum going on their side. Post and Cox again back deep. They are actually back a little bit deeper this time as Perez drove it kind of between people last time and got it to the end zone. Minor again, this time fielded by Barth. And he'll be brought down around the 35-yard line. So St. Louis Park, one more opportunity here late in this half, but they find themselves trailing it by a score of 20-0. Again, their backup quarterback in action tonight was regular starter Everett Arnold injured. So they will start on the 35. Still have a couple timeouts remaining if they want to use them. Kuhn dumping it off, incomplete. There was some room to run for McCarron had they been able to complete that one, but it didn't work out. 2nd and 10. Good play call there, that's for sure. They got what they wanted. It was really one-on-one with a lot of room to work with if they've been able to put that ball on McCarron. Kuhn dropping to throw, dumps it over the middle screen to Helfman. Helfman out to the 50 and beyond, and still going as he drags tacklers to the 43. 22-yard pickup on that completion. Again, love the play call there. Give your best player a chance to make a play, and that's exactly what Helfman did. And now they are in a position where time-wise they have a shot. Still just over a minute to go. Kuhn dropping to throw. Had time early, now breaks down, but he gets it off to McCarron, and McCarron over toward the sideline, and he'll get out of bounds inside the 30. Another first down to the 28, a pickup of 15 more. Good poise there by the quarterback Kuhn. It wasn't there initially, things kind of broke down, but he's able to find McCarron. Orioles would love to cut into the deficit here late in the half. Kuhn throwing it up for grabs, and it is caught by Helfman. He'll be down to the 9-yard line. 19 more on that completion. His fourth catch of the night. Really just a one-on-one jump ball, and he was able to come back and meet the football there as Bullard was in position, but the offensive player could see the ball a little better and reacted to it. Timeout taken by St. Louis Park. 33 seconds, with time definitely a factor. However, they're in business here inside the 10. I wasn't sure when this drive started, how aggressive are they going to be? Well, that was answered pretty quickly, although, again, as I mentioned, they love the way they started that drive. The swing pass was there. It didn't end up working, and then the middle screen to Helfman. And eventually they throw downfield to Helfman. Our center D has played well tonight, but would very much love to make one more stop here late in this half and keep it at a 20-point margin. So here we go, one timeout left for Park now. First and goal, and Kuhn in some trouble. He's got to get rid of it. Throws, nearly another interception. As Asen was there defensively, they've already picked off 2 passes tonight, and that nearly became number 3. The other problem is that one used a lot of time. 14 seconds went off the clock. Asen undercutting that route and got to it. So only 19 seconds to go now for St. Louis Park. Well, there was no timeout taken here. There is absolutely no reason it should have taken this long to spot the ball. Why the play clock hasn't been running or anything? Explaining there must be a time issue. I think maybe more time ran off than should have there.
23 seconds.
Yeah, they're gonna put it back to 23. I thought that when I looked up, it's like, boy, that seemed a little unusual that play would have taken as long as what it was showing. So they're gonna move it from 19 to 23. So here we go, second down and goal here for Park with 23 seconds to go. Kuhn throwing out to the corner. That one's going to be way too long. As Savanic was out there, but kind of a throwaway there. Bringing up 3rd down and goal. 17 seconds remaining. That one a pretty low percentage throw. So 3rd down and goal here. Oh, Kuhn under pressure, throws, and it's off Helfman's hands and incomplete. Obviously had to rush that one out of there, and Helfman, I think, was still just turning around when that ball got to him. So now 4th down and goal for St. Louis Park. And with this score, a pretty much easy decision here. They're going to go for it. And I mean, maybe a different score, you might think field goal, but they're going to take a timeout here with one big play remaining, perhaps, in the half. Park Center defense trying to close the half strong and keep them off the board. I have to believe they'd like to get the ball in Helfman's hands in some fashion, but Pirates know that as well. Sun setting here to the west as we look at Park Center trying for their first win of the year. So far, so good. They lead 20-0 late first half here against St. Louis Park. They've come with pressure late these last couple, and I think you're going to see that again. Try and make the young quarterback get rid of it before he wants to. Helfman is in the slot on the left side with McCarron next to his quarterback. And I think we've got an equipment thing again as going to send Lass off. So here we go, 4th down, goal to go for the Orioles. And they're going to direct snap it. Then the toss to Helfman. He's looking to throw. Helfman gets away from one. He's going to try to get to the corner, but he won't do it. Park Center pushes him out of bounds at about the 2 or 3. And the Orioles' drive will end up just a few yards short of the end zone with 4 seconds to go. Little trickery there as he went direct snap to McCarron, and then he's little toss, and Helfman wants to throw. He got closed on in a hurry. He's able to shrug that tackler, and then he just had the angle on him. There was really no way he was going to get all the way around the corner, and did the best he could, but it wasn't quite enough. And so Park Center will get the ball back on their 3-yard line, and now all you want to do is take a knee here and get into halftime with this big lead. Well, and then of course these teams that are, pretty much exclusively shotgun too. I think it's a little bit harder to run the clock out on plays like this. First of all, you don't want a bad snap. The other thing is, if they go shotgun, that he's, would be taking the snap in the end zone. Looks like maybe they are going to go under center. Yeah, they are, and they're just going to get in. And it's too early to call it victory formation first half, but you know what I mean. There's the kneel down, and we will come to halftime, and what a golden half here for Park Center. Our halftime score, the Pirates 20, St. Louis Park nothing. First half highlights, and then our second half of football. Park Center looking for win number 1 here in 2025.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Great start for Park Center in this one. They lead it 20-0 over St. Louis Park at halftime here as the Pirates coming in winless, but you wouldn't know it by this first half. They came out strong and got a late defensive stop there too at the end of the half to preserve the lead so far. It started out very early with a quick turnover as Kuhn has this pass picked off by Bullard. He turns it nicely down inside the 10 to about the 8. And then the second play that they ran offensively, Jerome Gregory able to get in for the score. And the Pirates taking a quick lead, and for good measure they added a 2-point conversion there as well on the rollout and took an 8-0 lead. And another turnover here for Kuhn as he throws an ace and does a nice job intercepting that one. And then it is Wise playing quarterback, scrambling, and then gets a lot on this throw. Great throw and catch as Klee coming back to meet it. That got him a big first down at the 20. And then eventually, watch this one, cutting back across the field, running past a helmet that's come off. He gets tattooed at the end of this play, but he'll take it as they got down to the 6, and then they have the distance penalty on a face mask call. And that led to this as Freddie Johnson able to reach the ball over the goal line and in. That one came about midway through the second quarter. They missed a conversion on that one, so it was 14-0. And then Slocum throwing it deep downfield. Watch the adjustment here. Nice catch by Joe Jacobs. And the Pirates got a penalty at the end of that, but that's all right. Slocum rolling right, throws, and there's Wise making a great catch in traffic. So a little bit of everything for Park Center tonight, and then they got the late defensive stop inside the 5-yard line to end the first half. You see the stats overall, it's kind of skewed because Park really hurt by those turnovers. They have moved the ball actually a little bit more than Park Center, but those interceptions are such a big part of it. And then penalties, the overall number of penalties isn't enormous, but there were definitely some costly ones, more so for St. Louis Park. As you see those 2 turnovers leading to 2 scores. It is homecoming night here at Park Center, and our halftime score, the Pirates trying to get their first win and looking good so far. 20-0. Park Center will be back here to Park Center High School in a moment.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Longer than normal halftime here on the big night for the Pirates here at homecoming. Looks like we are about ready to go here. They have to hope that their momentum isn't killed a little bit by being they've been off the field for quite a while. Park Center does get the football first. Remember, they deferred to begin the game, and St. Louis Park had the football first, but threw a quick interception that led to the first touchdown. Barry getting ready to kick off. Klee and Gregory are the deep men here for Park Center, and I'm sure the Pirates coaches, you're excited about the first half, but you're reminding your kids it's only halfway through. Got to keep playing. Wow, look at the leg on Barry as he drives that one a good 5-6 yards deep. And it will be a touchback and football at the 20-yard line for Park Center on their opening possession of the second half.
varsity or JV? Bro, your ass is probably on JV. Your ass is probably on JV. Nah, I'm saying you're probably on JV.
Slocum and company have had some good moments in that first half. Boy, they've given their receivers a chance to make plays, and several occasions they have. I don't know that they've really run the ball consistently, but and gets away from Slocum. That happened a couple times in the first half. Now he heaves it deep downfield, and it is intercepted on the first play. Gruberg, and then he gets lit up at the 40. But it's still a big play for St. Louis Park as Slocum throwing it deep downfield into traffic. And it turns into the interception. He picks it up, and it felt like there was a fair amount of contact down here, but the ball underthrown. And it's a good run back, but then he pays the price at the end, and right there. Hit thrown, and Eldrick Tyus Fang making that stop. And I know I was a little critical on the officials in the first half. I gotta love that that's not a penalty. I can almost guarantee in the NFL that's a penalty just because he hit him too hard. But it seemed to be shoulder on shoulder. So from the 40-yard line of Park Center, and a keeper there, and Kuhn is driven back hard after only gaining about a yard. They didn't fall for the fake to Helfman. Calvert on the stop. Kuhn, mixed bag in that first half. Obviously, those two interceptions really stand out in a negative way for them. He's made some good plays too, but turnovers are obviously a big factor in any kind of game. 2nd and 9 for the Orioles. Gonna run option right, and Kuhn will cut it up inside the 35 to about the 33. First time we've seen that from them this evening. Not time to panic if you're St. Louis Park. I mean, obviously, okay, you're down 3 scores, but you got to stick with your plan here. And they did have a couple of drives that looked like they might go in, especially they went at the end of the first half. Ended up getting stopped on downs at the 3. 3rd down and a couple. They go to Helfman, and he will pick it up with ease as their O-line getting good push. Got close to 7 on the play. And a first down at the Park Center 26-yard line now. Fresh set of downs here for the Orioles as they got the early interception to begin the second half. Trying to capitalize on it. Kuhn faking the handoff, and he will keep it, and decent run there as he'll get inside the 20. Give him about, let's see, it might be about an 8-yard gain there. So obviously the defense expecting a fair amount of Helfman, and that time faked it to him, and Kuhn cutting it up nicely. 2nd and a couple here for the Orioles. Ooh, juggled that snap, just barely got the handoff to Helfman, and he'll fight for just about a 1-yard loss. Both teams have had that happen a few times tonight where snap juggled, and it hurt the timing. Helfman was already almost past Kuhn, and he still handed off to him, and that play really broke down in a hurry. Helfman did all he could just to make it a short loss. So 3rd down and 3 now for the Orioles. And Kuhn rolling right, floating it, and well defended. So he was looking to dump it off to McCarron, but really in the way was Asen there, and no chance to get that one over him or through him there. So it'll be a 4th down here for St. Louis Park. Good discipline by Park Center there to not be fooled by that one. I mean, again, you wouldn't have been terribly surprised if that was a handoff, and they really they were conscious of the bootleg game for St. Louis Park, and they were ready for it. So here's another big key 4th down play. They got to stop on a 4th and goal to end the first half. This time they are going to hand it off to Helfman, and he is going to get the first down. Doesn't seem like ever a bad idea to give him the football, as he'll advance it to the 14. Needed 3 and got 5. Helfman again was banged up a little bit in that first half as well. Again, if you're just joining us, Helfman, leading rusher, leading receiver, leading tackler for this team, and he's going to St. Thomas. 1st and 10 at the Park Center 14. St. Louis Park trying to put a drive together and get on the board for the first time. Kuhn throwing, hit as he throws, and then the pass incomplete over the middle. That's going to be a late hit, it looks like, yep. As he was looking for McCarron, and I was wondering, I thought that one was looking like a very possibly a late hit. It is indeed the personal foul call against Park Center. Another look as the pressure is coming. And then Asen kind of popping him with the shoulder. Yeah, it was close. I think you could see that one going either way, but I wasn't terribly surprised to see it called. He could have let up a little more than he did there, I think. So 1st and goal now for St. Louis Park on the 7. Kuhn getting a rush, dumps it off. Oh, a great cut by Helfman, and he's going to walk in for the score. Wow, it looked like Park Center had that one defended well, but Helfman, showing his ability, made a great cut and then just ran through the last tackle attempts. And so St. Louis Park on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Kuhn again was under heavy-duty pressure. Good composure to get rid of that one, and again, never a bad idea to go to Helfman. They will go for 2 as well. Helfman takes the handoff, fighting. I don't think he made it though. Looks like he's going to be stopped just short, so no good on the conversion try, and it will stay 20-6. He gave it a good effort and he got a good surge, but well done defensively to hold him out of the end zone. Here's a look at that touchdown as he just gets rid of it, and then Helfman, that great first cut, and then they can't bring him down. But then, oh, here's the touchdown again. Wow, it looked like they had him hemmed in. Helfman showing why he is so valuable to the Orioles. So Park getting exactly what they wanted as they capitalize on that interception to begin the half. They don't get the conversion, however, so combined the two teams are just 1 out of 4 on 2-point tries. A 20-6 lead for Park Center. Considering, 12-minute quarters and all that, that was, I don't know, maybe close to being a must-score drive for St. Louis Park, and they did indeed get it done. You just don't know how many more times you're necessarily going to get the football. Barry boomed it deep into the end zone last time around. See if he'll do the same here. Wow, he has got a tremendous leg. Be a touchback again. Park Center gets the football back, and we'll see what the Pirates have in mind here as they took a bit of a gamble last time around. I mean, let's face it, they've been able to be successful throwing some balls up, somewhat for grabs in that first half. They had some very well done receptions by a couple different guys that turned into big plays. And you kind of live by the sword, die by the sword, I guess, because Slocum threw one up for grabs that was picked off to begin the second half. But you don't want to get too conservative here either. Again, like I said, for St. Louis Park, you got to stick with your stuff. And for Park Center, same thing. I mean, they're a team that likes to sling it around, and you don't want to just start trying to eat clock too early and just hand off all the time either. This will be a handoff to Johnson, and he has a nice gap before he's thrown down. That'll be a solid first down run. Again, the Pirates, that has not really been their strength tonight, is being able to run it between the tackles, but that time did get a pretty effective run by Johnson, who had a touchdown in the first half. I'm going to be able to run it well enough to keep them off balance and to maybe pick up some first downs when you need them. Second down and 3 for Park Center. Slocum will hand it off again, this time going nowhere. Johnson is wrapped up. And smart play to let go there by Holmberg, too. You don't want to pick up a penalty for tossing him down. A short loss. We do have an injured St. Louis Park player, and unfortunately I've had to say that a few times tonight. Not sure if this might be a cramp. Benjamin Larson, the injured player for St. Louis Park. Now hobble off, obviously wearing that knee brace on the left knee, so maybe that's it, not a cramp, but hate to see injuries, but they are kind of part of things too, so depth gets tested. Third and about 4 coming up here for Park Center. You don't want to give the football back right away if you're the Pirates and give St. Louis Park, more momentum. Especially after that good first down run. Slocum throwing, completes it to Klee, and a nice tackle coming out to run through him. He tried to stiff arm, but Osseo was ready. It is enough for the first down, however. So he did get a quick stop, but it wasn't enough to prevent the first down. Fourth catch for Klee. Fresh set of downs at the 30, and Park Center really needed that, to keep Park from getting momentum, to use some more clock, to get their own confidence back up too. Slocum will hand it off, and a little room to run initially for Calvert, and then it closes up, but solid gainer of nearly 5. Yeah, they will spot it right on the 35, so it is a 5-yard pickup. Park Center O-line having a couple of good run block plays here to start this drive. So second down and 5 for PC. Oh, and this snap gets away from Slocum, and St. Louis Park will get the recovery. Lucero is first to it. Boy, you're just wondering if that was going to come back and bite him again. And now we have a flag down at the end of the play, way after the play, probably on Park perhaps, but we'll see. And Slocum a little slow getting up too. Gonna have to assume this is like an unsportsmanlike. It was way after the play. And it is against St. Louis Park. I saw somebody with their helmet off, and I don't know if that was the case that he took his helmet off. And Coach Foster is pleading their case that it happened because of so the recovery still counts. It is after the play, and that's what they're kind of wanting to verify. Okay, it's still our ball, right? And the answer to that is yes. But then they'll march off 15 against St. Louis Park. Slocum had it slip through his hands, and then he got his knee slid into by the defensive player there too. Ouch. Slocum, to be honest, I think he was going to try and pick it up and do something with it, and he was a little slow to react, and that allowed Lucero to slide in hard and get to it. So it will be St. Louis Park ball at the Park Center 38 after the turnover, and then the unsportsmanlike penalty going against Park. And again, those just kill you. Hand off to Helfman, shakes a tackle, and then cut down. Nice job. Take his legs there, but still a good gainer to begin the drive. Helfman will pick up 6, and then he hobbles off again. Boy, if Park could get a touchdown here, they would really tighten this thing up in a hurry, but got a ways to go yet. 2nd and 4. Hune, good time throwing deep downfield. He's got a man, and it is a touchdown. Able to hook up there with Jaden Post. And Park on the board for the 2nd time in this quarter. Well, you could see that one develop from up here as he broke open, and one of the keys too is they gave him good time. And so if Park Center thought this one was going to be easy, they'll have to think again. Again, we'll go for 2. Going to hand it off, and they will get the 2-point conversion, and it's not Helfman, it is Kalmkowski in there to run that one in after Helfman was shaken up again a little bit. So they get the 2-point conversion, and all of a sudden it's 20-14, and Coach Foster and crew fired up. They have turned this one around in a hurry here in the 3rd quarter. Another look at this. See, really well blocked up front, and breaking away from the pack there was Post, and on the post pattern he is right on the money, and then well blocked. It was actually easier than you might expect to run that one in. I don't think Park Center was expecting a run there, and so the 2-point conversion is good. And I was thinking too that obviously with the leg we've seen from Barry, it isn't that they can't kick extra points, but just maybe game situation and feeling like they had to go for 2 there again after missing the first one, but they're now within 20-14, and then potentially another touchdown could put them in a spot to take the lead. Here's Barry getting ready to kick off. His last two have been well into the end zone. Boy, the momentum has switched in a hurry after halftime here. And this time he's going to go shorter with it, taken on about the 7-yard line by Wise, and up the middle he comes. Wrapped up there. And a little extracurricular at the end. I don't think we had a flag though. So Park Center football again here. 4:15 to go in the third. Orioles have scored twice in the third quarter after trailing 20-0 at halftime, and Park Center turned the ball over twice already in this half, and that was really what cost St. Louis Park in the first half. So it's been just the reverse here in the second. And that's what, you want your bad drives to result in a punt, not an interception or fumble, and that's unfortunately for Park Center not what's happened so far in the third. Wise is now in at quarterback. He led a touchdown drive from this spot earlier. And a great play by Helfman. 2 against 2 there, number-wise. Probably the two best players in the game, I think you could make the case, or best for each team there. And Helfman won that battle as he knifes through and takes him down for a loss of 5. Most guys on the other team, Wise would have outrun to the edge, but Helfman went right at his ankle and took him down. So 2nd and 15 now for the Pirates. Oops. And they get an early start there, so push them back 5 more. Oh, I'm sorry. It's against St. Louis Park. They will be penalized instead. Offside before caused the Pirate to start, I guess. Well, be back to 2nd and 10 then. He's going to turn and hand it off. Calvert trying to get outside. Flags everywhere. He's thrown down after a short gain. And then a little more extracurricular on the other side there. Boy, there were 2 flags flew right away in the same, I think they probably saw the same infraction, I would guess, as they came at the same spot. Be a hold against Park Center. So this drive going backward here. Let's see if we can see this hold. It must have been, yeah, right on the edge there. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Both officials saw the same hold, and it was a clear-cut one. It's one of those plays that it's hard to just let somebody go when they beat you to the inside like that, but a little too obvious. Be 2nd and 20 now for Park Center. Wise faking it, and now in some trouble. He's very elusive though. Throws on the run and incomplete as it's trying to get it there to Gregory, but he's elusive, but a lot of guys pursuing him there, and just kind of had to get rid of that one. So now 3rd down and long, and Jordan Salas was talking about some of the fairly exotic blitz packages at St. Louis Park. Likes to throw at people. He said we gotta kind of tune in and dial into where they're coming from and see if we can't get that blocked up, and sometimes keep an extra guy in the block. But that time they got the pressure on. The thing about it, though, is Wise can be so dangerous on those kind of broken plays. He's very speedy. See what they have in mind here for 3rd and 20, though. Deep drop, all kinds of time. Now it breaks down a little bit. Wise will throw on the run, and a great grab. Not going to be enough for the first down, but they do pick up a good chunk of yardage as Jacobs, again, going down, but securing the catch. Be about a 17-yard gain, but it will still leave them with 4th down. And Park Center, you'd think probably would punt from here, but I guess not a sure thing. 4th and 3 on their own 46. Keep in mind, Wise is the punter as well, so you won't necessarily be able to tell by him being in there or not in there what it's going to be. It's going to be a timeout taken here by Park Center. I think they're kind of trying to decide what. You know, you hate to give the football back. You'd love to get the first down, but you also, on the flip side, don't really want to give them the ball in your end of the field either. So an interesting call here for Jordan Salas and crew, and be somewhat of a gamble, I guess, to go for it here, but again, they do only need 3 yards, and they're near midfield. It's not like they're deep in their own end, but at the same time, if you turn it over here, give them a relatively short field. And as I mentioned, Wise is also their punter, so certainly conceivable that he may come out as though he is planning to run a play and still kick it, but I don't know. They're not really showing that. We'll see. There's nobody back deep for St. Louis Park, so if he punts it, he might be able to pin him a little bit here, but I don't think they're looking like that. Nope, gonna go for it. Wise, deep drop, has all kinds of time, thought about throwing it. Now he's going to scramble around a little bit. And it's going to be a blindside block, and then he throws it away. And let's see, this should be declinable, I would think, and they just take over on downs. It was clearly a blindside block. You got to know better than that. As he reverse field, the pursuer there, defensive pursuer, was, if you had just kind of shielded him and you know, then you'd be okay, but he lit him up a little bit. This should be St. Louis Park's ball, end result of this. Yeah. It is intentional grounding as well at the end of that, so it will be St. Louis Park's football. So yeah, actually 2 penalties on that play. They declined the blindside block, and either way it was going to be an incompletion out of bounds, it was going to be intentional grounding, it was going to be St. Louis Park's ball. And so 1:49 to go in the third. Another look at this here. As Wise faking it there. Now watch when he turns to come back. Right here, you gotta let up. And then he ends up just kind of flinging that one into their bench anyway. So it'll be a Park ball at the 30. They're within 20-14 and trying to even get another score here late in this third. Hand off to Helfman, and not much there. Fought his way inside the 30, so maybe a yard, but that one was very well defended. Well, the Pirates defense played very well in that first half, and yeah, you know, not really so much their fault here in the second either, because turnovers led to both of the scores for the Orioles. But now would be a time for a big stop if they could come up with one here. Second and long for St. Louis Park. Kuhn looking to throw over the middle. Got his receiver. Posting, he's got it. And we have a flag back behind the play also. This is going to be presumably another personal foul. Oh no, illegal motion. Wow, bring it back. Illegal motion call against St. Louis Park. So an entertaining play that, as it turns out, never will really happen. Oh, what a tremendous, or maybe a little bit lucky too, catch as he bobbled it right toward the defender and then still got to carom. But all of that basically never happened, as it turns into an illegal motion penalty and loss of 5. It should be a 5-yard loss. It looks like they marked it back 4 yards. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, yeah, that's right. Helfman had a short gain on that first one. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Helfman takes the handoff here, weaving his way. Again, pretty solid job defensively. As he will gain 2 or 3. Just a couple, looks like. So Pirates, again, could really use a stop here. Under a half minute to go in the quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 12 coming for St. Louis Park. You don't need to get it all at once necessarily if you're the Orioles here. If you can get it half at a time or whatever you can get. Kuhn dropping to throw. Now he's going to step it up and run, and he is spun down after a short gain. And that will bring us to the end of the third. It was a mostly St. Louis Park quarter as they get a couple of touchdowns after turnovers, and we're a lot tighter now. Score after 3, Park Center 20, St. Louis Park 14.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
20-14 Park Center, St. Louis Park, a strong third quarter, but they now face a 4th down and 8 to begin the 4th, just inside the Park Center 30. Oh, and they got movement on the left side of the offensive line. Make it a little bit longer yet. False start against the Orioles. Well, I said earlier we hadn't had all that many penalties. I take that back. We're starting to see an awful lot of yellow flags. So it'll be 4th and 13 coming up now for St. Louis Park. Kuhn dropping the throw, wants that middle screen, and they're not going to get there. Pirates were ready for it this time. Helfman, just too much traffic around him. They get a gainer, but not nearly enough, and Park Center a key stop as they'll take over on downs. Boy, they needed that one after seeing St. Louis Park score a couple touchdowns in the third. Pirates ball at their 26-yard line. It will be Wise at quarterback rather than Slocum. Wise has been all over the place. Different. This is about the third, I believe, sequence that he's run. Go with the toss. And Gregory had some room initially. He'll get about 5 out of that one. He scored the first touchdown of the game very early after a Pirates interception. Here's where, if you're Park Center, you'd like to flip the field at the very least. Get a little bit of a drive going, get a couple first downs, at least get the ball into St. Louis Park territory. Even if you end up having to punt. I mean, again, you'd love to score. That goes without saying, but you want to manage the clock a little bit here as well. Wise going to run this one. They string it out. Flag is down. Helfman catches him, and it'll be a big loss. And this might be a situation where they can decline an offensive penalty. I would have to believe it's likely to be going against Park Center, just based on where and when that flag came out. And the fact that he ended up retreating there might cause St. Louis Park to decline this penalty. We'll see. I think they are going to. Call is a hold against Park Center. Yeah, they're going to decline it because the player ended up being a loss back to the 19. Be a 3rd and 16 coming up here for Park Center as they're going backward at the moment. First half was pretty much all Park Center. They led 20-0 at halftime, but then the third quarter, St. Louis Park capitalizing on a couple of turnovers and getting 2 scores, and they're within 6. Wise rolling out and incomplete as it looked like there was a potential for a good gainer there, but not able to squeeze it was Nelson. And now, unlike a few of these other recent ones, this one fairly clear-cut punting situation. Barth waiting back deep as Wise coming on to punt. So Park Center would like to have that one to do again. Nelson, it would have been interesting to see. It looked like he potentially was going to have enough room to run for the first down if he'd been able to haul that one in. Wise, a good kick. Barth fielding it at the 36, and good coverage there as Klee gets down to bring him down after a gain of just a couple. But still, you make the catch on that. It was a good punt. And so now St. Louis Park will get the football back with a little over 10 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter, and they trail at 20-14, but fair to say they have the momentum here in the second half. Really kind of goes to show how much turnovers are part of football. I mean, the first half, the turnover battle was Park Center's, went Park Center's way, and built that lead, and then it was the other way around. Look at that ball boy hustle. You love it. And believe it or not, another penalty here. We get a false start against St. Louis Park. Not the cleanest of games in terms of penalties for either side here. So 1st and 15. Kuhn going to run a quarterback sweep to the right. Gets a couple of good blocks. Ooh, and then he gets popped as he got near the 40. Wise and Hansen on the stop. Wise got most of that one, I think, and picked up about 5, but paid the price. So 2nd down and 10 for the Orioles. Kuhn will give it to Helfman. They're ripping at the ball, but instead Helfman keeps the legs driving, and he'll get about 9, and then we get a flag at the end. Oh. I think the Orioles think it's on Park Center, but we'll see. Again, probably unsportsmanlike or personal foul. Just the fact that it came pretty much at the end of the play. It is against Park Center and also against St. Louis Park, so those are going to offset. So they'll replay the down. And again, we have the huge delay. Poor officiating, sorry. You got to move these games along. There's no room to constantly be huddling and talking. Second and 10 again. Helfman breaking a tackle into the secondary, runs one over, and he's still on his feet down inside the 35 to the 33. 27-yard run. Helfman a little bit banged up, but you'd never know it. Just kept the legs going. So 1st down from the 33 of Park Center. St. Louis Park trying to drive down and see if they can't take the lead. Little swing, nice catch by Helfman, spun away from a tackle. And that was actually a pretty good play by him for a 2-yard gain. First of all, just to make the catch, but then to make that first guy miss. Boy, Kuhn was under some heavy-duty pressure there, and that forced that quick throw, and Helfman just kind of stuck out hand and hauled that one in. Be a 2nd down and 8 coming up here for the Orioles. Kind of getting down to that time where, you might not have too many more possessions to go in this one. So what happens on this drive is going to be huge. And another nice stop. Blas in on that tackle with Mixon, I believe it was. I got to say, Blas has got to maybe look into getting a different helmet. His helmet has come off, I don't know, 4 or 5 times tonight at least. So here we go, 3rd and 8 for the Orioles. Pirates trying to come up with another big stop. Kuhn dumping it off. Koski with the catch. He's chopped down. He's going to be short, I think, but it'll be very close. Looks like they're marking him about a half-yard short, I would appear. Yeah, going to be 4th and 1. Well, a big play coming up here from the 24 of Park Center. 4th and a yard. I would not bet against Mason Helfman receiving this football. We'll see. It is indeed Helfman. Oh, he broke a tackle. He had a chance at him early, and then he is chopped down inside the 15. He'll gain about 10 on that one. They just had a little bit of penetration, and if the first guy had been able to tackle him, but again, that's easier said than done, and he broke through that and advances it down to the 13. We're approaching the midway point of this 4th quarter. St. Louis Park trying to drive into tying it up and potentially taking the lead, but Park Center trying to stiffen up here. It's 1st and 10 at the 13 now. Oh, and it gets away, and Kuhn will just cover it up. Going to be about a loss of 8. And each team has had some kind of crucial mistakes like that. We've had some adventures on some snaps. Second and 17 now for St. Louis Park. Play clock getting a little late, and yeah, they realized that Coach Foster's going to use a timeout. They were having a little trouble getting lined up, and they would have had to rush that. I mean, they could have gotten it off, but they would have definitely had to kind of rush things. So didn't want to do that in this key spot. And that's the thing, once you've gone to one side of the formation as a wide receiver, and then you realize you're supposed to be on the other side, that's going to take a little time to get there too, and they kind of realized that and elected to go with the timeout instead. In the moment, your coach isn't too happy, but when all is said and done, I think it is better to take the timeout there. Park Center trying for its first win of the season. They were up 20-0 at halftime. And as I mentioned earlier, in many ways, the second half's just been kind of the reverse of the first, where the turnovers led to Park Center points in the first half and led to St. Louis Park points here in the second. But after that first down gainer, the big loss on the drop snap certainly isn't helping the Orioles' cause as they went backward. Kuhn looking to throw, hit as he throws it up for grabs, and it is intercepted. Asen will get his second of the night, and a huge turnover there. Maybe Kuhn kind of throwing it up for grabs as he was being pressured there and threw off his back foot. And Asen read it well and just beat the receiver post to that ball. So Park Center with a tremendous stop. The only bad part for them is that it's going to be inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. However, still, you'll take that. And tremendous defensive play. And again, not making excuses for St. Louis Park, but this is their backup quarterback because of injury. And the sophomore Kuhn has definitely had some good moments, but also has thrown 3 interceptions. And that one I think you could put in the category of kind of an ill-advised throw. Wise is the quarterback. He's in the end zone, so you don't want to have any mistakes down deep here, but he's a good runner. Ooh, a high snap, but he's able to get the handoff away. And it had the start of some good things and then halted in a hurry, but they're fortunate they didn't lose that snap. And again, you can't stress enough for both teams at this point, you got to keep your head. Don't commit a penalty that comes from frustration or, playing kind of too much through the whistle. Under 5 to go, 2nd down and 6 here, or actually shorter than that, 4.5, 5. Wise will go back to Hansen again here, and that one well defended as he is brought down by Helfman. Nudge the ball forward maybe a yard or half yard there. So Hansen, they go with a tough linebacker getting some carries late here to try and help run out the clock. 5'10", 210-pounder. Wrestler. Under 4 minutes to go here. Park Center a little late getting out of the huddle. The play clock winding down. Wonder if they might have to end up burning a timeout. Yep. They will indeed call a timeout with 3:48 to go. Key 3rd down play here now. It's very manageable, 3rd and 3, but at this point in the field, you're definitely looking at punting if you don't make it. So you want to come up with a good play. Boy, I feel like it would not be a surprise at all to just see if they can let Wise create something. Just get him running the football and get a block or two and see if he can't find enough room to pick up what would be a huge 1st down. Couple of timeouts left for each team. Been an entertaining one. We've had a little bit of everything. Definitely some miscues, a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers, but we've definitely had some really nice plays along the way as well. Empty backfield here. I think they're going to spread it out and let Wise try to run for this. No, going to sling it out quick. And not going to get there as Gregory is brought down right about the line. And then we get a flag at the end of the play again. Back in the secondary, a St. Louis Park player wound up without his helmet. But I didn't exactly see how that occurred. I think that's where the penalty was, though. I think it's going to be against Park Center. Yep, personal foul. So it'll be 4th down. It'll be a half the distance penalty. So Wise going to have to punt it out of the end zone and more toward the back of the end zone now than he was going to be after that personal foul. I hate to say it, but boy, when you're 0-4, you've seen why on some of these penalties, and actually both teams. Gotta keep your cool. Wise again driving at a good kick. Oh, it takes a bounce back toward the line of scrimmage, though, or sideways anyhow. It'll be St. Louis Park football at the Park Center 44-yard line. 3:19 to go. This may very well be the make-or-break drive here, as St. Louis Park threatened to take the lead last time around but couldn't get it done. Park Center clinging to a 20-14 lead, looking for their first win. Orioles have really been hurt by interceptions here tonight. I mean, there's probably some temptation to just feed Helfman here and see if he can't go get it done for him, but that really isn't their MO necessarily either. I'm going to throw it. Looking deep down the middle, throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted again. 4th pick thrown tonight. Joe Jacobs on the interception for Park Center, and that's a head scratcher if you're St. Louis Park. First of all, maybe somewhat the play call, but more so, why do you throw that? No. Pirates will get it back. He's just kind of lofting it up, and there's triple coverage. The ball wouldn't have been catchable even if there was no defenders there. I don't like the decision making there, but easy to see that from up here and not so easy to see it on the field. So Park Center gets it back at the 25-yard line. 3:10 to go. Again, 2 timeouts remaining for each team. Got to figure St. Louis Park's going to really sell out run blitz here. Wise remains the quarterback. Gonna hand it off, and there's Klee breaking it into the secondary. Breaks a tackle again, and then just tripped up as he's just short of the 40. 33-yard scamper there for Klee. Boy, they caught St. Louis Park overloading, and I don't think they were expecting that run to that area. And Klee just shot out of a cannon there, firing off, and gets it to the 42. Boy, that is an incredibly important run to start this drive. You got the field position now. You eat some clock. Good saving tackle here on the dive by Rickard, but Pirates going to use up as much play clock as they can, but now they're going to use too much. Delay a game. Yeah, you want to use a lot, but you don't want that. 2:21 to go. It'll be 1st and 15. We're probably going to see St. Louis Park use timeouts after the next 2 plays, I would guess, unless they get, an incompletion or out of bounds. But go back to Klee. This one not going too far as Osseo able to chop him down after a 1-yard gain. St. Louis Park not using a timeout here. I'm a little surprised. And then wait till after this down, perhaps. We do have play clocks visible on the field here too, which is nice. Not everywhere has that. So that kind of should help your offense and your quarterback to, manage that a little bit more so, but Wise going to throw, and it's complete to Jacobs. He breaks a tackle. He will have a first down, and he's brought down inbounds as well. Oh, that was an enormous play You could maybe view it as a bit of a gamble, perhaps, but they get it done. The pickup of 23. Huge first down. It's a pretty safe throw, though, so Wise just giving Jacobs an opportunity, and he gets it done, breaking that. And now we will see St. Louis Park use a timeout. Very smart of him to go down inbounds as well there. So the clock briefly stopped for the first down, but then it was going to be wound again. So St. Louis Park forced to use that timeout. Boy, that play right there could very well prove to be kind of the clincher. St. Louis Park right now, they're going to have to hope for a turnover, otherwise they're going to run out of opportunity here. Gutsy call. I have to admit I would have probably just handed off, but they saw that Jacobs was open for a pretty safe throw. As I said, you get it out of there quick and just give him a chance to break. It's kind of like a long handoff, if you will. Give him a chance to break a tackle or two, and that's exactly what happened. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 23. The time is the big factor now. 1:19 and one timeout remaining for Park. So the handoff here to Calvert. They're going to rip at the ball, of course, here. And he is brought down. St. Louis Park will use that final timeout. Boy, we are close to Park Center being able to just kneel this one out. Minute 10. Actually, it looks like they're putting a couple seconds back on the clock. And 12 they'll put it at. It's funny how throughout a game, they're never that concerned about a second or two, but then when you get down to the very end, then it's exactly, I got to get it where, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I think Park Center might be in a spot now where they're going to kneel. Or just run a quarterback sneak straight ahead. Yeah, looks like they're figuring, they're doing the math and saying we're going to have enough time to just run this out. Yep, there's the first kneel down. Yeah, St. Louis Park cannot stop the clock, so one more kneel down should be enough to seal the W for Park Center on homecoming night. They started 0-4. They got off to a great start tonight and had to hold off a rally from the Orioles. But they are going to be able to get it done here, it looks like. Wise will take a knee, but the Orioles can't stop the clock, and that will be the final play of the night in a 20-14 win for Park Center, and they are fired up. With good reason, a hard-fought game. As I said, it wasn't always pretty. There are a lot of penalties and turnovers, but big plays being made by Park Center in the first half especially, but then coming up with some key stops when, to be honest, the Orioles really had the momentum, and it looked like there was a reasonably good possibility that they were going to score again and, either tie it or even go in front. But Pirates defense said no. 4 interceptions, a big key for them here this evening, and they will get that first victory of the season. So congratulations to Jordan Salas and crew. And St. Louis Park, unfortunately on their side, they had some injuries too, but they will end up losing for the third time in a row. But Park Center will be back in action against De La Salle, and presumably a winnable game for them coming up next week as well. So hope you've enjoyed tonight's action. As I said, a little bit of everything in this one. And Park Center gets its first win of the season. 20-14 is the final. For all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks so much for watching high school football on CCX.